Everybody, good to see you again. Chris here, your trade sales and marketing manager at WorldVia, and we are back for another partner spotlight. This one is going to be a lot of fun. We're here in the Purple Palace once again, and we have a great partner today to talk to. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go through a multitude of things with Norwegian Cruise Line, and I'm going to introduce our guest here shortly. But if you are out there watching live and you're out there in YouTube and you want to say hi, you want to ask a question, you want to, say some of your experiences that you've had on Norwegian Cruise Line, please feel free. And producer Evan over here will pop those up on the screen, and he will make sure that we get everybody's comments up there and shout it out. So I think it's time to introduce our guest today. In the pink chair, we have somebody that is very, very special to us. She flew, if you can believe it, all the way down from Boston to be here with us. Key account manager with Norwegian Cruise Line, Lynn Coughlin. Lynn, how are you?
I'm doing well, Christopher. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, Lynn, you know we always love having you here in our studio and anything that we do here at WorldVia, and we're so excited for you to be here and be a part of this Partner Spotlight. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about a lot of things Norwegian Cruise Line. We're going to talk about the Aqua. We're going to talk about the slide coasters. We're going to talk about the dining. And then we're going to talk about everything else with Norwegian that's going on, because there is so much with Norwegian that we want to get into. But first, Lynn, I have a couple questions for you personally.
Okay.
Okay. How long have you been in travel for?
Oh my goodness. I've been in the travel industry for 30 years, and it's been an amazing ride. It's a fantastic industry to be a part of.
How long have you been with Norwegian, though?
So 6 years ago, I joined Norwegian. Previously, I was on the land side of the travel business, and 6 years ago, joined Norwegian, and there's been no looking back. Cruising is a fantastic way to see the world.
Before we jump into this, we were chatting a little bit earlier about cruising. What was the percentage that you said of people who have not cruised?
It's incredibly small. Something like 3% of the world has ever cruised, so a real untapped market.
There's so many people out there that have never experienced the pleasure of being able to go on a ship, drop their bags, and just explore, have a good time, and that is what we're here to do. We're here to tell you all the good things about that. And so the first thing I do want to talk about, Lynn, Norwegian Cruise Line has been known for a lot of innovations, right?
Yes.
They've come to the market and they've changed up everything in cruising. One thing is freestyle cruising. Let's talk about freestyle cruising.
Yes.
And what has Norwegian done to enhance that?
Right. Well, in the early 2000s, we introduced freestyle cruising. At Norwegian, we believe that your vacation time is precious. You know, lives are hectic, and when you go on vacation, we believe that you should be able to schedule your time as you wish. And so, we introduced the freestyle cruising concept, where you dine when you want, with whom you want, you wear what you want. There's not any fixed dining times in our complimentary restaurants. You really can customize your vacation just the way you want it.
So I don't have to wear a suit to the main dining room?
No, you don't. You know, what's interesting is that, you know, if you wish to dress up, you can dress up, but you don't have to dress up. And so that freedom and flexibility is very attractive for the Norwegian cruisers.
I like that. I like that. So beforehand, in the old days, so you had to set your scheduled time on when you wanted to eat, and you had to say, we have to be in the dining room at 5:45, and if you're not there, then sorry, you do not get to eat. But Norwegian came along and said, no, let's change that up.
Right, and the beauty of that is that if you're off on an excursion, an all-day excursion, you don't have to rush back for that 5 o'clock dining time.
That's true.
Our restaurants are open late for you know, the maximum time in port that we allow for our guests, and so the freestyle concept really is a very popular concept.
Love that. Okay, so you've brought about freestyle dining. You've brought about all these great innovations. You have a new one that I love to highlight, and it's called More at Sea.
Right. More at Sea is Norwegian's unique way of bundling the package. We're bundling amenities and offers that guests want when they're on vacation. So the More at Sea with Norwegian includes a premium beverage package, unlimited premium drinks, and specialty dining, as well as Wi-Fi minutes. And now all of our ships are powered by Starlink, so it's high-speed internet. It's been a game changer for the cruise space. So Wi-Fi minutes are included, as well as starter package, as well as shore excursion credits, because we believe not only is your experience sailing, but when you're visiting these ports, it's so important to go off and really explore the beautiful places that you're visiting.
Now, when we talk about the More at Sea, and especially the premium drink package, I do want to highlight that a little bit, because I think that when people go on these cruises, maybe in the past they've always expected, you know, the prices to be for a drink to be super high, and they're going to spend all this money on drinks at the bar. But that's not true when you use the More at Sea package, right?
Well, that's right. I will say that cruising in general is a fantastic value, and then when you're layering the Norwegian More at Sea package on top of cruising, it's spectacular. For example, the More at Sea premium beverage package for an unlimited number of your beverages is $30 per person per day.
Oh.
I think if you do the math, it works out to be about
unlimited
2 drinks a day, and that's your break even for the More at Sea beverage package.
And it's unlimited.
Yes, unlimited. And premium brands, Casamigos and Grey Goose and Woodford Reserve and brands like that.
Producer Evan, does that sound good? All right, I think we have some comments, right? All right, let's take a look at some of these. Oh, Rebecca, hi Rebecca. We love you, Lynn. Oh,
thank you.
Thank
Love
you,
too.
Rebecca.
Thank you.
Always good to see Rebecca. Always good to see Rebecca in the chat. Who else do we have? Danielle, hi guys. Hi Danielle, good to see you. Good to see you. Got a lot of people in here. Oh, Danielle just booked another couple on the Aqua.
Oh my goodness. I am so excited for anyone that is booked to sail on the Aqua.
We're going to talk, and Danielle, we're going to talk about that shortly. That's going to be our next big topic, because I was just on there, and so I want to get to that. But More at Sea, it's changing the game. It's letting people get on the ships and enjoy themselves without having to sign everything that they do, right? And without having to go to the bar and worry about what I'm going to pay, what do I need to do, what do I need to think about right here. I just can grab my drink and go.
That's right. At Norwegian, we say it's not what you pay to get on the ship, but it's what you pay to get off the ship. And when you're bundling the More at Sea ahead of time and paying for that, the nominal cost associated with that, you're really able to disembark with next to nothing on your guest folio.
I love it. I love it. And what do you think this does for people out there that are thinking about sailing? Maybe some of those people that were used to that all-inclusive idea and that they were used to those types of vacations. Do you think that can grab those people?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we are looking for as getting new to cruise brand, new to cruisers. Those that have experienced the all-inclusive, because again, so few people have ever Cruising is a fantastic way to vacation. There's something special about waking up every day in a different port or a different country and only unpacking once.
I agree. My favorite days, though, Lynn, are sea days. But that's just me. I personally like sea days because I like being around. I like the ship. The ship is my destination. But speaking of ships, something big just launched. Is that right, Lynn?
Oh my gosh, Norwegian Aqua.
Let's talk about it. But producer Evan, I think we have a video that we want to show about the Norwegian Aqua, right? Let's cue that up.
Let's run away. We can go anywhere. 'Cause we got the world and we can go reaching up to the sky, reaching up to the sky. So where do we go? Where do we go from here?
All right. That was a pretty incredible video. As someone who's been on that, there's a lot I want to talk about because this is a big deal. This is a big deal. But I think we have some more comments. Producer Evan, I want to say hi to some people that are out there in YouTube world. Jeremy, good to see you. Big love-ins from Missouri to you both. Well, hey, thank you, Jeremy. Always nice to see you in the chat. Who do we have? Bernard, new travel advisor. Hello from South Florida. Hey, that's where I'm from, and that's where I just was last week. So, hello, Bernard, fellow South Florida
Hello.
person. Looking forward to building a strong relationship with Norwegian and many bookings. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Okay, so we also want to remind people to make sure you subscribe to our channel here. That's very important. Evan, if you want to pop that up. Producer Evan's going to pop up that subscribe button, hit the bell. We love it. Okay, Norwegian Aqua. Lynn, let's talk about this. I have some fun pictures to share too. We'll get to those in a moment. But there's a lot of great things on the Aqua. So tell me about the Aqua.
Oh my gosh. Well, this ship just entered service. She made her transatlantic crossing at the end of March. She's just been sailing for a month. You and I had the pleasure of sailing on her. At Norwegian, we are so incredibly proud of the Norwegian Aqua. She is the newest of the Prima class ships. She's the Prima Plus, so she's 10% larger than her sister ships predecessors, the Prima and the Viva, but she feels even bigger than 10%. But she is a spectacular ship inside and out. She has more outdoor space than we've ever had on any ship, which is perfect for the warm weather itineraries that she's sailing to Bermuda and the Caribbean.
Let's talk about the dining. Tell me about all the... First, I want you to tell me about all the dining options that are on the Aqua.
Okay, well, there's 17 restaurants
17.
and 18 bars. So it would be hard to actually enjoy all of them during a 7-day sailing, but they are incredible. We have beautiful complimentary main dining rooms as well as spectacular specialty restaurants. And again, remember, if you're purchasing Norwegian with the More at Sea package, you're getting some of those fine dining specialty meals included in your package.
What is your favorite dining option on the Aqua?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so from a complimentary perspective,
Yes.
I love the Indulge Food Hall. It's a fantastic concept. It was first introduced on the Prima. You sit at a table, you order off of a tablet, and there are I believe 10 different restaurants that are in the area that you can order from. You order your meals and the food is delivered hot and fast, and it gives you a sampling, whether it's Indian food or Tex-Mex or salad, or there's even Plantery, which is a new healthy plant-based selection. Indulge is an amazing concept, so that would be my favorite for a complimentary perspective. From a specialty dining, it's incredible. Palomar is an amazing Mediterranean restaurant. La Bistro is fine dining, French. Onda, which means wave in Italian, is fine dining Italian. And what's so amazing, I mentioned that the Aqua has a lot of outdoor space. these restaurants have outdoor dining, and there is
Yes.
something so magical about enjoying your fine dining meal while you're sailing along in the evening, just along the beautiful ocean.
As somebody that got to experience the Indulged Food Hall, let's talk about that real quick. So the concept is on the Prima class ships. It was my first time seeing it, my first time experiencing it, but I was blown away. I was honestly blown away. And when Lynn says the food comes out fast, that is no joke. We have the tablet, you put your order in, and then all of a sudden, in about, I don't know, 5-7 minutes, the food is brought out to your table. And from my experience, we ordered a bunch of different things. We got some barbecue, we got some side dishes, we got some noodle bowls, and you can get everything, all these different options brought right to you. And the atmosphere of it is so fun. The atmosphere is like that cool, hip food hall with a lot of leaves on the wall, leaves on the ceilings, really comfortable seating, really unique seating, which I liked too. That was really important. And then the specialty dining was just fantastic. Let's talk about the bars that are on the ship.
Oh my goodness. Well, there's no shortage of bars, right? So we have 18 bars. From a smaller, more intimate swirl wine bar to the Metropolitan bar that features sustainable cocktails to everything in between. It's just it's fantastic. And now that we upgraded the beverage package to include those premium brands, it's just a win.
That really changes everything, if I'm being honest with you, so that when you go to these different bars, you don't have to worry about anything holding you back. You can enjoy different cocktails at different bars because they all have these different cocktails. I like the Metropolitan a lot. I like the cocktail selection. I like the atmosphere there. It was very, what do you want to call it? Speakeasy type style, 1920s kind of style. It was really, really cool. Now, we could go on and on about the dining options. I really could. I'm being honest with you. We could talk about that all day, especially even the all-day buffet there. That's Evan. Thank you for bringing this up because I thought that this was interesting. Now, there is a Starbucks on board, and Starbucks is partnered with Norwegian Cruise Line, right? How many ships have a Starbucks?
That's right. Well, we do serve Starbucks coffee fleet-wide on all 20 of our ships. About half of our ships have a full-service Starbucks cafe, as that picture depicted.
I took that picture at sunset, and how nice would that be? Just getting your coffee, enjoying the sunset on the ship in the fantastic atrium, because it's right in the middle of the atrium, so you're seeing everybody, you're seeing all the activity that's going along, but the seating is just perfect. It was so fantastic. Now, we need to talk about the shows. Okay, so what's the draw for Aqua?
Well, entertainment is a big deal on a ship, just as food is.
Yes.
The headlining shows, there's two fabulous headlining shows on the Norwegian Aqua. One is Revolution, a celebration of Prince. We've been working with Prince's estate, collaborating with them. It is a hour-long concert-like experience, high energy. It's just fantastic.
Very high.
Our theater is a state-of-the-art theater on the Norwegian Aqua. It's 3 levels. If you are someone that wants to dance at the concert, you would you go down and enter the theater on level 6, and you would dance around. If you wanted to sit and watch the show, you would watch from level 7 and
And that's what we did. If you want to bring that picture up, Producer Evan, there's right there. That is us about to watch the Prince Revolution show, and it was amazing. It was so much fun. So we
got there early. That's why there's nobody.
Yes.
Because it is so popular that we did get there early to get the very good seats. So that's why there was nobody behind us. But it does
fills
fill
up
and
really quick.
These shows are complimentary. If you were to see any of these shows on Broadway, you'd be paying a significant amount of money. But in addition to the Prince Revolution show, there's Elements, A World Expanded, which is more like a Cirque du Soleil with acrobatic feats.
That was a lot of fun. I like that.
And it's always amazing to me how the performers can do these feats while the ship is sailing along, right? So that, kudos to them for that. But there's also Fleetwood Mac Rumors that was used to be in Sid Norman's, which is a club, a smaller club-like venue, but it's been moved to the theater because of its popularity. And I was a little worried about would it lose some of its intimacy, but it is a fantastic show. So if you are going on Norwegian Aqua, or it's also Fleetwood Mac Rumors is also showing on some of our other ships, but definitely take that in. But then there are the game shows, there's Price is Right, there's live music and throughout the ship. So we say at Norwegian that there is zero chance for boredom.
Well, and here's one big one that really is going to give you zero boredom. It is the slide coaster, the first ever, world's first slide coaster. And we have a quick video, don't we, Evan?
3, 2, 1.
Show me something. Bright light, showtime, burning like an oven. Turn it on, get lost, better show me something. Show me something. Bright light, showtime, burning like an oven. Turn it on, get lost, better show me something. Show me something. Show me something. Show me something.
Now that's pretty exciting. You didn't do that, did you, Lynn?
Of course I did. I love rides like this. It's complimentary. It is so fun. You sit in this raft. It has a back, so it's very comfortable. You're sitting on a float with a back. You can ride as a single rider or a double rider. There's a magnetic arm that comes and pushes the raft pretty quickly up and around the first turn, and then it's so exciting, and then it becomes more of a lazy river experience. The beginning
Ooh,
is fast
okay,
and exciting,
okay.
but not scary. I mean, the fact that you're not even belted in tells you that it's not super.
You're not going to go off the side. Or
You're not
anything.
right. So then you end up right back where you started, having traversed 3 decks and then coming back up. So the end of it is a little bit of a slower ride in a tunnel, more like a lazy river experience. But it is so much fun, and it is the world's first. It's a hybrid between a roller coaster and a water slide, and it's just awesome. You have to do it.
It is incredible. It really, really is. So I want to go and talk about the Prima ships in general. Now that Aqua's come out and it's surpassed all expectations, how is Norwegian going to top this?
Well, that's a good question. To build a ship, I believe it's 3 years from inception to its launch. We have a lot of ships on order. Actually, we have a new build order. We have new ships coming into 2036.
Wow.
So it's hard to know what they will come up with next. But we are a very innovative cruise line, and we're always very excited for the big reveal. The Norwegian Aqua has a twin ship, Norwegian Luna, and she's going to be sailing next April. So she will be very similar to the Norwegian Aqua, and she will also have the slide coaster on it as well. But we don't know the entertainment lineup yet.
What is it about the Prima ships that you think is different in cruising?
Yeah, I think it's, what the Prima ships are known for their space ratio, so they don't feel crowded. There's a lot of space.
Yeah.
And it was interesting during the pandemic, which was a dark time, and we don't want to talk about anything dark and sad, but people became more aware of their personal space. And so the space ratio on the Prima ships is the highest in the cruise space right now. So
Okay.
it just doesn't feel crowded. And the crew to guest ratio is also fantastic. It's just about 2 to 1. And so our crew is our secret sauce at Norwegian. They work so hard. And
Very true.
they're just there to make sure that the guests have the most spectacular time. The service is amazing on Norwegian.
The layout too, I think, is really interesting. We talked about this earlier. The outside decks, especially on the Prima classes, you're not in just an empty deck with just some chairs out there, which I think is really important. There's, for example, on the Aqua, right outside of the food hall, there's these kind of walls that are separating, these wood walls that kind of separate, and you can walk through and you can sit down at a table right behind there. So the space is broken up, and I think that really does help to create a environment on the outside that is a lot different than other ships.
Yeah, there's the beautiful, beautiful outdoor space in all of the Prima class ships.
And then there's a On the outside too, there's a little lawn area. It looks like a little green lawn that you can sit on. There's tables on there, so that's really cool. And I noticed that there was a camera where you can stand in front, and it was an interactive camera that would do different things. So there's a lot of really great things going on.
And it's very thoughtful. They have 10 selfie spots.
Yes, that's what it
that
was.
they recommend that you take the Instagrammable moments, shots of around the ship, but they're fantastic. When you were on, did you walk across Ocean Walk, which
Yes.
is the glass bridge?
Yes.
It's 8 decks up off of the ocean with a clear walkway, and some people are nervous to walk across it, but I think it is one of those Instagrammable moments.
Val and I walked across it, and looking down was a little, it was a little something, but it was. That's what I like about ships, and that's what I like about what Norwegian's doing, because you have that space and that ability to have that experience just right out in the open like that. And I think before we get off the Prima class ships and the Aqua, I liked the activities that were outdoors. So you have the pickleball courts, you have the mini golf court, which was amazing, tailored after the destinations, right?
Yes, each of the 18 holes for the mini golf is themed for a country
Yes.
that Norwegian sails to.
And then the globe basketball court.
Yes. Oh, and that's a state-of-the-art basketball court. So it has LED lights, and it's just a very, very fun.
It really was. So I think that the ships are offering so much. But within the ship, there's another area that I want to talk to you about. The ship within a ship concept is becoming more and more popular. How does Norwegian do it differently?
So I believe what you're referencing is the Haven by Norwegian, and this
Yes.
is for those that are looking for the most luxurious experience. It is our ship within a ship complex. It's private everything. From the second you book, you have a shoreside concierge team that can help make arrangements for you. When you get to the pier, you have a special Haven priority check-in line. You are the first to board the ship. You're escorted by your private butler to your stateroom. You have an opportunity to pre-book your dining ahead of time before anybody else for the specialty restaurants. The entertainment, you can pre-book those, although there is a special section in the theater that's cordoned off for the guests of the Haven.
Interesting.
The newer ships have their own Haven restaurant and
Yes.
lounge. Where it's the most incredible experience. So I like to say, though, that the Haven should come with a warning, because when you sail in the Haven, there's no going back. You'll always want to sail for that luxury experience in the Haven.
And producer Evan, I think we have a video of the Haven, and we're going to show that because I want to keep talking about this.
Hidden away at the top of our ships is the Haven by Norwegian. A private enclave with exclusive amenities and our most luxurious accommodations. Guests of the Haven experience priority at every turn. Priority boarding, priority reservations to all restaurants and shows, and personalized service from a certified butler 24 hours a day. The Haven also has its own dedicated concierge, ready to satisfy any request. Dinner reservations for 20? Craving red gummy bears? We are on it. Head to the private Haven courtyard to relax on the sun deck. Cool off in the pool, or slip into the hot tub. The poolside valet is there to pamper you. Dining is also an exclusive experience in the Haven. Savor superb complimentary cuisine in the private restaurant and sip handcraft cocktails in the chic lounge. Want to keep it low-key? Throw on your plush robe, relax on your spacious balcony, and order a meal from any restaurant on board, delivered directly to your room. When you're ready to explore all the ship has to offer, you'll find unforgettable experiences and VIP treatment around every corner. Because wherever you go on board, you're always a guest of the Haven. Exclusivity, luxury, priority. Welcome to the Haven.
So Lynn, what type of cruiser does this appeal to?
My goodness. This appeals to somebody that has enjoyed a luxury, all-inclusive experience.
Mhm.
It also has broad appeal for multi-generational travelers. Norwegian is very good with multi-gen groups where the grandparents may stay in the Haven
Mhm.
and then other families may stay in the other staterooms. But it's anybody that's looking for a real luxury experience. And I will say that that video, which I love, depicts more of the pools on some of the older ships, which were in an interior courtyard with
Right.
a retractable roof, which was very cool. But on our newer ships, the Prima class ships, the Haven pool is aft. It's an infinity pool, and it's right up against the aft of the ship, the edge of the ship, and it looks out at the expansive ocean. And the view of the ship's wake is so calming. It's one of my most favorite views to look at when I'm cruising, and that's where the infinity pool is in the Haven on the newer ships.
I got to see it. I got to do a tour of the Haven, and it's so luxurious up there. It's so nice up there, and that infinity pool going out into the ocean was spectacular. I really, really liked that. Okay, so the Haven is something that is appealing to those people that like luxury. They like that all-inclusiveness. They like that different. They can be in the Haven, but then they can also enjoy the rest of the ship, right?
Well, that's the beauty of it. The way we say it's a ship within a ship complex, it has a small ship appeal, right, with the personal attention. But then outdoor of the Haven are all of the activities, the restaurants, the amenities of a larger ship. So it really is the best of both worlds.
Okay, so speaking of the best, let's talk about the private islands. All right, we have two with Norwegian. We have Harvest K and we have Great Stirrup K.
That's
all right. Why do you think that they are growing more and more popular?
You know, I think that it is true that private islands receive high marks on our guest satisfaction scores. Our private island in Belize, Harvest K, is fantastic. It's a beautiful pool. There's a beautiful beach.
Oh, beautiful pool.
You were there, right?
Yes.
You were there in November?
Beautiful pool, beautiful beach, has its own a little zoo that you
Yes.
can walk through, which was so much fun. There's giant lizards out there. There's a butterfly garden that you can walk through. That was so cool. But I think that the idea of the private island is so appealing to everybody because you have the ship itself there, and you have it's like Norwegian's own private area, so you don't really have to worry about anything else.
That's right. It's just a great place to relax.
Yes, very, very relaxing. Okay, Stirrup, Great Stirrup. Let's talk about Great Stirrup.
Right, so we've recently made some big news. You know, we were the first cruise line in 1977, I believe it was, to purchase a private island, Great Stirrup in the Bahamas, also affectionately known as GSC.
Yes.
And it has been a wonderful, wonderful stop for us, but it has been a tender stop. So the ship anchors, and then the guests
I just did it.
are brought in on large tenders that it can accommodate
Oh, yeah.
500 guests at a time. But we're in the process of building a dock, which we saw under construction. It was very exciting to see. The dock will be finished in October, November, but in 2025, Q4 2025, and that will allow us, our guests, a better experience to get on and off the ship, much easier, and for us to actually make it to Great Stirrup more often. And so we're looking forward to that. But that wasn't the only announcement. We also announced that there's a huge swimming pool. It's the size of, I think, 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools combined that's being built. There's the Vibe Adults-Only Beach Club that's going to have an extension on Great Stirrup Key. There's going to be a new tram system, and it's just going to be fantastic. So we're really excited about all of these enhancements coming to Great Stirrup Key.
That's pretty spectacular because the private island experience is already so high, and what Norwegian's saying is, hey, we're going to enhance it that much more. We're going to make it that much better. I think that that's really, really important. I think that I got the chance to go to one of the cabanas on Great Stirrup Key, which was amazing. You have this luxurious cabana with had a private cooler right there. It had a lush seating. You could see the beach. You could see the ship from there. It was so much fun. And then on Harvest, I got to sit in one of the villas. And that was pretty spectacular. That's a whole other world. It's a air-conditioned interior with private beach access. So that was really nice.
For the truly next level, you want to check out the Silver Cove Villas on Great Stirrup Key, because these were introduced in 2019. They are spectacular villas, studios, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. The 2 bedrooms can actually accommodate up to 16 guests, but it is in keeping with that luxury experience. Those Haven guests, if they want to continue that luxury experience at GSC, the Silver Cove Villas is the way to go. But it's open to anybody, not just Haven guests.
What I think is really cool, and what I want to talk about now, is some of the popular itineraries that Norwegian goes to. You're known for your amazing destinations all over the world, and so let's talk about some of the most popular ones.
Well, Caribbean has always been very popular for us, right? So we're lucky to have a lot of cruise ports servicing the Caribbean. In Florida, we sail from Jacksonville and Port Canaveral and Miami and Tampa, and then we sail from New Orleans and Galveston, and then we do the Western Caribbean from San Diego and LA. So we have a lot of home ports in the U.S., North America, that can bring our valued guests to the Caribbean. Eastern Caribbean, Western Caribbean, Southern Caribbean. We even have a ship that sails from San Juan that's able to go really far south. To Antigua, St. Lucia, Barbados, islands that are not typically included in a 7-day Caribbean sailing. So a lot of Caribbean options. And I think Caribbean is great, particularly for sun and fun, for those that want to get away in the winter, or for those that maybe haven't done a lot of cruising before. But separate from the Caribbean, oh my gosh, we have amazing itineraries in Europe. We have an itinerary planning department that puts together really thoughtfully curated itineraries all throughout Europe. We have 9 ships that are sailing in Europe this summer. Some beautiful, Mediterranean, Greek Isles. Northern Europe, very popular for us, has been Iceland and Norway. And just some beautiful, beautiful itineraries. I know they keep coming out with more itineraries, and my list doesn't get any shorter.
Now, a very unique one that I always like to talk about, and that you and I have talked about a lot, is Hawaii. Now, why is that so unique in the cruising world?
Right. We're lucky that we have a U.S. flagship that allows us to sail round trip from the U.S. So we have our Pride of America ship. She sails every Saturday. She's on sale into 2027, if you can believe that. But it's a Saturday, 7-day itinerary, sailing from Honolulu. Amazing itinerary. You overnight in Maui, you overnight in Kauai, you go to both sides of the Big Island, Hilo and Kona. 104 hours, I believe it is, in port. So it's just a fantastic itinerary. And because it's a U.S. flagship, we're able to do that. It is a little bit different for us than the other fleet, because Hawaii doesn't allow gambling, so there's no casino on board.
Okay.
And because most of the guests are off enjoying themselves in the evening with the overnights, doesn't have quite the range of entertainment as the other ships do fleet-wide, but that itinerary is fantastic. The ship sells out, and I highly recommend Pride of America.
Yeah, because you can't do that with anybody else. I mean,
that's right. Usually you're sailing a few days from the West Coast, a few days at sea, a few days on island, and then you're turning around going back to the West Coast. But with us, the beauty is that you're in Hawaii. So I would recommend that someone go in early. We always actually want to recommend that someone go in a day or two ahead of time to catch the ship, right, to catch up with their cruise. But I would say go in early and explore Honolulu. We even have cruise tours. A lot of our destinations now, we have put together land packages called cruise tours. And our cruise tour for Hawaii includes visits to the really popular excursions, Pearl Harbor and the Dole Pineapple Plantation and the Polynesian Cultural Center.
Very nice. One that you brought up, a destination that you brought up earlier when we were talking, is Asia is becoming a more and more popular destination for cruising. Let's talk about that.
Yes, for those that are looking for a more exotic itinerary, we have seen a real increase in demand for Asia itineraries. They tend to be longer itineraries, more like 12, 13, 14 days, but they will either start in Seoul and end up in Tokyo or vice versa. But beautiful itineraries, including stops at Mount Fuji,
Ooh.
which for many is on that exotic bucket list.
Yes, yes.
But we also haven't mentioned Alaska, because
Oh.
I want to make sure that we mention Alaska.
How can we forget about Alaska?
Because Alaska is a premium product for Norwegian. We do a really great job with Alaska. We spend more time in port and have fewer sea days in both Alaska and Europe than the competitive set. And we have 4 ships that are sailing in Alaska. You could do round trip Seattle, but you can also do one-way Vancouver to Whittier or Whittier to Vancouver. And again, you can add on a cruise tour land portion pre or post. And that's a fantastic way to really see Alaska. The best way to see it is cruising. But if you want that wilderness, interior wilderness experience in Denali, then you could add on the cruise tour.
What did you say about Juneau earlier?
Okay, this is a fun fact. So Juneau is the only U.S. capital that is inaccessible by road. There are no road by car. There are no roads leading into Juneau. You can only visit Juneau by ship or by float plane.
I did not know that. When you told me that, I was like, what? Is that real?
And Juneau is one of the stops on our Alaska itineraries.
What is your favorite itinerary? What's your favorite destination?
Oh my goodness. Okay, my favorite itinerary is whatever I'm on at the time.
Of course.
It's hard to say. It's like asking what a favorite child is. I will say right now, my favorite ship is the Aqua.
Well, of
I am
course.
incredibly proud of the Norwegian Aqua and so excited for anyone that's going to sail on her. I love cruising in Europe, and have a lot of more places that I want to go.
Okay.
But Alaska was a spectacular family vacation. We've done Caribbean, Bermuda. Bermuda is so easy for those that don't want to travel very far. We have an incredible Bermuda program. We sail from Boston and New York to Bermuda. It's just a couple days to get to Bermuda. Then you're docked in Bermuda for 3 days and a couple days back. In 2026, we're going to begin sailing from Philadelphia to Bermuda. We're very excited about returning to the port of Philadelphia. So
That's pretty nice.
I can't really answer your question.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm not doing a good job with that.
Norwegian is changing the game for cruising, right? So all these things that you all come out with, whether it's a new show, whether it's a new attraction on the ship, whether it's just a new dining option, you're changing the game for cruising. What can we expect from Norwegian in the coming years?
That's a tough question because I'm not privy to some of the innovations that they're currently working on.
Okay.
But I do know that we have 6 more ships, billion-dollar vessels, that are on order into 2036. We are so fortunate that we have a really wonderful group of Latitude guests, repeat guests with Norwegian.
Mm-hmm.
We want to continue to make our Latitude guests happy, and we do that by introducing new ships and new itineraries. So look for those. And new innovations, just really setting the bar.
What do you see the future for cruising in general?
I think it's going to continue to be a fantastic value. As prices are increasing and air is increasing, to go from port to port, and as I mentioned before, waking up every day in a different country or a different port is spectacular. So I do believe that the popularity of cruising is going to continue to grow, and that those guests that were previously not cruisers are going to give it a shot and easily become hooked.
I think that that's true. I think that finding the people now who haven't gone on a cruise and getting them on one, and they can say, wow, this is way different than I thought. This isn't like the old days. This isn't everybody has to wear a suit on formal nights or anything like that. This is a new world where when you're on the ship, it's almost like you're in a destination in and of itself. There's so much to do. There's so much to see. There's so many places to just either sit and relax, sit and enjoy a drink, sit and enjoy some food, sit and enjoy a show. You're really, and the rooms are getting so much better. It's not these cramped little spaces anymore.
The cabins.
The cabins. I know. Sometimes I mess that one up. The cabins.
Stateroom cabins.
Are getting so much better. The shower, full size shower nowadays. So it's not like the old days. I think that's one thing that I love about Norwegian, especially, is that they're making these ships more and more advanced, more and more. For people that have never experienced it before. So now when they're getting on for the first time, they're saying, oh, is this what it's always been like?
Right, becoming more of a floating all-inclusive, which would appeal to those that are more used to land vacations.
I think so too. Well, Lynn, I've enjoyed sitting here and chatting with you as always. It's really great to see everything that Norwegian is doing. It's really great to see all the new things that are coming out and seeing the new ships that are coming out and seeing all the fun things that they're taking a chance to do, like the Aqua coaster.
Thank you so much for having me. It's
All right,
been wonderful.
everybody. Thank you. And remember to subscribe again, hit that bell, and we'll see you all on the next one, all right?
See you on board.
Bye.